What's up, my Central Unit? It's the Central Man here. So this is my review of SummerSlam 2025 Night 1, or SummerSlam 2025 Saturday. So yeah, this is the first SummerSlam to be a two-nighted SummerSlam. Yeah, they're trying to capitalize what WrestleMania did for the past 5 years, doing a two-nighted show. So I'll get to my overall thoughts of Night 1 of SummerSlam at the end of this review. You know, with my overall score of SummerSlam 25 Night 1. Anyway, so the first match to kick off Night 1 of SummerSlam, we got a tag team match. We got the OTC, the original Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, teaming up with main event Jey Uso, taking on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. This was a really good opener. This is Roman's first match since the triple threat match from WrestleMania 41 Night 1 about in the spring, in April. You know, it's been about 4 months since Roman last wrestled. And this was really good. I really enjoy this match, you know. The all four men did trade blows, and then the funny spot, you know, both Roman and Jey fooling around. You know, you had Jey doing the yeet. You know, Roman sadly didn't do the yeet. You know, but the fans doing the yeet. You know, when Jey Uso's theme music played, and then that kind of halted when you had Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed just beating down Roman Reigns, and then Jey Uso did the splash off the top rope onto both Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. You know, the heels, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, they're kind of funny in this match. And one note, you had Paul Heyman, carrying Seth Rollins' Money in the Bank briefcase. I kind of like the briefcase. You know, it's black and yellow or black and gold. He's also wearing Roman Reigns' Jordans, his white shoes, because on the Go Home Raw, you had Braun Breaker. I think it was Braun Breaker spear both Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, and then I think Bronson Reed just really snatched the shoes off of Roman Reigns. Anyway, so Bronson and Breaker, they're kind of like I said, funny in this match. With Bronson Reed, he kind of mocked Jey Uso's yeet taunt, and then with Braun Breaker, he kind of taunting Roman Reigns while grounded Jey Uso. He kind of sing, he said, let's sing a song. Do you want to sing with me? He sang Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns, Roman, you suck, you should have gone away. I kind of laugh at that, I kind of like Braun Breaker, the guy's just, got that, he's kind of half Goldberg and half Scott Steiner, because, no shit, because he's related to the Steiners, he did that clothesline, that running clothesline. He did it on Jey Uso. He did it towards Roman Reigns outside of the ring. I'm gonna do it in a random order instead of reviewing the match. Correct in the correct order. But anyway, so I think there was one spot when Bronson had Braun, Braun Breaker, not Braun Strowman. Breaker, on Bronson Reed's back, and then you had Bronson Reed hit that, I think it was a mini splash onto Jey Uso, because the whole bulk of the match, you had the heels ganging up on Jey Uso, denying Jey tagging him for Roman Reigns for the hot tag. There was one spot, Braun, was going for that splash off the ring apron. But he attempted to do that. Jey got out of the way at the last minute. He kind of landed knees first onto the announce desk, the edge of the announce desk. Oh, that's really bad for your knees. There was at the end of this match. I'll get to that a little bit shortly. He was limping, and it looked like, I hope it's not serious, like torn his leg, torn his knee. like torn his ligaments of his knee. I probably like bruised. He probably like bruised it from the inside. You know, I hope he's not really seriously injured, but he did like he did pull through. You know, like he hit like you know, Jay. You know, you had Bronson trying to like attack Jay. Jay dodged. You know, you had Bronson Reed kind of like like run out. He kind of like run and went. Here's the spot. You know, yeah, Jay. You know, he was going out. You know, Bronson Reed was going out for Jay. Jay ducked at the last minute. He kind of like went through the middle rope. He's about to tag in Roman Reigns, but Braun Breaker kind of tackled it. He kind of tackled Jey Uso while Bronson Reed kind of pulled Roman Reigns out, pulled him out of the ring, pulled him off the you know, the tag team ring post corner and kind of throw him onto the barricade. Like the guy is like fucking Terminator. He's Terminator. And then minutes later, you know, Roman hit the spear onto he did the spear onto Roman speared Braun Breaker, and then minutes later or seconds later, you know, Jay and Roman hit the one deed onto Bronson Reed, and then Breaker managed to break up the pinfall in the last minute. You know, the guy is just like indestructible. You know, he's got that speed, he's got the charisma. You know, like the charisma. He does like that push-ups. You know, like a guy that never used the Steiner name. A guy like, you know, trying to reinvent himself. You know, he's got that. You know, he's the dog. Yeah, he did like he's a shades off his dad, you know, and his uncle with, you know, doing the bulldog onto Jay. You know, off the top rope. Like Roman kind of spiked himself. This was early in the match. He did like his suicide dive onto Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, nearly breaking his own neck. You know, I don't think Roman did that. He hadn't really done it in a very long time. He never done it in his heel run, but you know, it's been a long time. You know, since he hit that move, and then he minutes later, you know, Bronson Reed did his suicide dive on both Roman and Jay. Anyway, so yeah, Roman took a bullet from Jay. You know, Breaker trying to hit the spear on Jay Uso, but Roman took the bullet. He hit the spear on Bronson Reed. I think he kind of super kicked Braun Breaker outside the ring. Hit the arm splash onto Bronson Reed for the win. So I'm not really surprised of Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker losing. I think they need the win because of this new faction with Seth Rollins. But besides that, you know, this is Roman. I think Roman need that win because he's lost the triple threat match at WrestleMania 41 Night 1 4 months ago. But I'm fine. And same as Jay, because he needs that win because he lost that. Because he's just lost it, you know, because I think it was a month ago. Yeah, I think it was a month ago he lost the world title to Gunther on Raw. I think they need that win more than Breaker and Bronson Reed. So, but besides that, I really enjoyed this match, you know. So moving on to the next match. So the next match, we got the women's tag team title match. We got Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day taking on Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Not on the same level as the opener, but it was a good match for what it is. You know, you had like same scenario. You had the heels getting up on Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. You know, not really playback value. Like, oh my god, I need to go back and watch this. But I think it was still a good match. You know, before the start of this match, you know, you had Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss bantering. You know, because they're trying to get along as a tag team. You know, I think with like them as a tag team's cool because they got that star power. You know, they're both of them are former like women's champions. You know, they both held both Raw, SmackDown tag team, not tag team, but the Raw and SmackDown tag team women's championships over the years. You know, kind of like the face of those brands since the brand split has been formed about 9 years ago. Them as a tag team, I think it was like head cheese, like you know, booking like Charlotte Flair's. You know, she's the daughter of Ric Flair. You know, she's like the lifestyle. You know, she's the she's like has the lifestyle girl, Alexa Bliss, I don't know, she's got the doll Lily, but she's not the mouth talk, the trash talker, 5 feet of, 5 feet of fury? Going back her old nickname, but anyway, so they're kind of like bantering, and before the funny part, Charlotte Flair did the bunny ears onto Alexa Bliss's head. That was kind of funny. It started out like both, Raquel and Roxanne beating down both Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. I'm not saying it was a bad match. It was good. It was got kind of a little bit boring, but it's whatever. I feel like the Alexa teasing, going for the sister Abigail, but Roxanne Perez kind of like eye gouges Alexa Bliss, and then she was going for like the twist of bliss. Roxanne got her knees up in the last minute, they're kind of like, working on both Alexa and Charlotte for a whole bulk of the match, and then in the end, let's get to the end of this match. You had Alexa accidentally deck Charlotte. You thought like they're gonna cost the tag team titles, but instead, that's not the case. So Raquel Rodriguez hit the Takuma bomb. I think it was on Alexa Bliss, and then Roxanne hit the pot rocks. I think it was Alexa Bliss or Charlotte Flair. Not 100% sure. It's been 2 days since I watched the show, so my memory's a bit fainted. So in the end, Alexa hit the I think like what Charlotte Flair did. I think she kind of like not speared Raquel. I think she kind of throwed her onto the I think she kind of throwed her into the ring post, something like that. I don't remember. So in the end, Alexa Bliss hit the sister Abigail onto Roxanne Perez to win this match and become the tag team champions. I don't think Charlotte Flair won the tag team titles. Don't think so, because I think Alexa Bliss was tag team champions in the past. I think it was with Nikki Cross. I think it's been what, 5 years, 6 years, but I'm not 100% sure. This is before like the whole storyline with Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. But Roxanne was a transformational champion because she was only there because Liv Morgan got hurt, and I don't know what's the aftermath of this. Charlotte and Alexa Bliss as tag team champions, because this tag team division is dead. It's been dead for like since the formation. I don't want to get into it. Might do a future video of why the women's tag team division in WWE failed or flopped. That'll be a future video for another time. So it was like it was a decent fun match, but it don't make me go, oh my gosh, I need to watch that match again. So moving on to the next match. So the next match we got Sami Zayn taking on Karrion Kross. This is the weakest match of night one. This is like build of the storyline going into this. Karrion Kross trying to like belittle Sami Zayn because of trying to mean like you're the bad person. You're never going to win the world title because you don't have that Rufus streak, something like that. I haven't been watching Raws. I know it's on Netflix, but I've been watching YouTube clips, to catch up. I need to get back on watching Raws. Not like me reviewing Raws, but watching, off camera. But to catch up more. But anyway, it was the weakest match of the night. Not a bad match. It was just like meh. Felt like not really a SummerSlam worthy match. So yeah, nothing much to talk about. It's more about the poll. I think like Karrion Kross has been beating down Sami Zayn for weeks. Anyway, I think Karrion Kross trying to use the pole. You had Scarlett, just Scarlett, not Scarlett Bordeaux. You follow her, her time in Impact Wrestling right now, TNA. She trying to just distract the referee. I'm guessing like Karrion Kross trying to hit Sami with the pole, but instead I think he like dodged it. I think he hit him with Blue Thunder Powerbomb. It was a very forgettable match. And then in the end, Scarlett trying to give Sami the same pole. he kind of threw it away. So in the end, he hit Karen Cross with the Yavuna kick for the win. I heard speculation that Karen Cross, this could be his last match, against Sami Zayn on this show. I feel like the stipulation that if Sami Zayn lost this match, you gotta admit that he's not a good person, so like that, But I don't know. There'll be. I don't know. There's speculation. If he stayed on after, I think his contract expires in 2025. So if that will be his last match in the company, it's a damn shame, man. I think they really dropped the ball on Karrion Kross. I really want to see Karrion Kross succeed in WWE. He came back. First off, he had a run in NXT, did well in NXT. I think he was NXT champion. I think he vacant the title due to injury. I think he came up to the main roster, didn't do much. I think he was wearing just like some kind of ninja, got released. I think he had to run in the Indies in that crappy company called Control Your Narrative. Came back, did do nothing. He formed his faction with the AOP and Paul Ellering, feuding with the White Six. I think they were planning to do with the storyline with the Miz. Miz is teasing like he's going to turn babyface, turn on Karrion Kross, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, the Final Testament, like the AOP and Paul Ellering left the company, so that was canned. I think he was feuding with AJ. I think they had a match, probably on Saturday Night Main Event. I don't know. He's not really done nothing. He's done shit, man. He's done absolute fuck all. Karrion Kross. I think he's better off going to another company. I don't know. I don't think he'll go AEW. I think he'll probably go back to TNA. I don't know, but I don't know. So the next match is for the Women's Championship, the Women's title on SmackDown. Tiffany Stratton taking on Jade Cargill. Jade came out wearing the Jamaican flag attire. I think she's half Jamaican, not sure. It's cool. Seeing her wearing the Jamaican flag, seeing a wrestler just wearing the flag of a country, outside the United States, it's kind of very rare. I think it's the shortest match of the night. I think it's for the best because I think it played to Jade's strength, because Jade not really do well wrestling in longer matches, with a story. I think she's been in the business 5 years. I think she's still green as grass. But she's trying to learn. She did well in this match against Tiffany Stratton. It's basically strength versus speed. Tiff hits Jade with the I think it was the Swanton Bomb off the top rope, the handstand elbow in the corner. She hit Jade Cargill with the Alabama Slam. I think she countered. There was twice that Jade Cargill countered Tiffany's attempt of the PMLS? What was it? The PMA? The PMA stands for the pre moonsault ever. Tiffany was going for that move, but Jade got her foot in the last minute and hit Tiffany with the Jaded. But unfortunately, Tiff's foot was on the ropes to break up the pin. She tried to do a super super Jaded off the top rope, but Tiff countered with the Hurricanrana, hit the prettiest moonsault ever to win this match to retain the Women's Championship. It's very weird because I'm more used to of the Raw Women's title and the SmackDown Women's title. Now it's just the Women's Championship on SmackDown and the Women's World title on Raw. I understand why. I don't see Jade winning the title on this show because I think she's not quite ready yet. I think she's been overpushed so far. I understand why. She just won the Queen of the Ring tournament last month, so to get a shot at the title at SummerSlam. But for Tiff, she's been champion for about 8 months now. She's what was it, Nia and Charlotte Flair. She needs another challenger. I think she's running out of challengers. on the SmackDown side, because I'm guessing like Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are now in the tag team division. So yeah, the times she's running out like credible competitors. So yeah, there was a video package. Well, before I get to the next match, there was a video package of Hulk Hogan. You had Hulk Hogan's son Nick. Attending the show, paying tribute to his dad. It's cool to see. Anyway, and the next match, we got the third tag team match of the night for SummerSlam 25 Night 1. We got Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre taking on Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. It's all about, Jelly Roll did like perform his song on SmackDown, and Logan Paul like crashed it, saying like, I'm tired of outsiders crashing the WWE, even though he's a hypocrite because he's an outsider himself, even though he's been wrestling like 2 years now, 2 or 3 years now. I think it's 2 or 3 years. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway. So yeah, Drew and Randy revived their rivalry. You had like Jelly Roll trying training, preparing for the match at SummerSlam. You had Drew and Logan Paul being down Jelly Roll. Anyway, so Jelly Roll lost weight. In previous appearances he looked fat. He's like he's now very very slim now. He really committed for this match. Before this match, he kind of sang Randy's theme music. And the fans really started to cheer Randy's. I think like last recent years, fans were singing Randy Orton's theme music. It's one of the best songs in the modern wrestling era. Voices. The match itself, I think it was the fun match to watch. For Jelly Roll, even though he's very limited, I think you got Orton and Drew have been wrestling for years. I feel like with Logan, I'm not a huge Logan fan. He's kind of like finding the ring as well. Kind of carried Jelly Roll to a possible fine match, because he's limited. It's his first match. Drew hit Jelly Roll with the not Claymore. He hit them with the Glasgow kick. You had you had Orton at the Claymore kick by Drew outside of the ring after hitting Drew and Logan Paul. I think he was slamming them into the announce desk, and then you got like Logan Paul. I think he wore like wearing sunglasses, doing the Austin thing with the beer. This time he's carrying like 2 bottles of Prime. I think it was lemon flavor. I don't know. It's the white bottle of Prime. He's drinking like he's Austin, and then he did like the frog splash. He kind of frog splash Jelly Roll onto the announce desk. The announce table broke. You got the paramedics and the referee trying to escort Jelly Roll, put him in the stretcher. You can tell the fans really really got behind Jelly Roll. They were chanting Jelly Roll, Jelly Roll. Not roll, roll. Sorry, Jelly Roll. So Jelly. He looks got emotional. He doesn't want his first match to end like this, not to compete, not to finish his first match, but he managed to get back in the ring. I'm trying to keep it short and simple, He ate the Claymore kick by Drew McIntyre, and then Orton hit the RKO onto Drew, and then Logan kind of threw Orton into the ring post, and then he hit the Pull from Grace. I thought he was going to hit the Polarizer, but he hit the Pull for Grace. It's the Frog Splash for the win. It was a fun match. I think it was a 3-star match, Not to write home about this, I'm worried that, by the 2025, 2026, they're going to put the world title on Logan Paul. I hope I'm wrong. Please don't, I think the egos is so polluted right now. They're going to tend to do that, Even though Logan, I don't want to see Logan on my TV. Even though I think he does got reactions, he does get heat. But the problem, that heat is more like go in the weight heat. So I don't know what's the aftermath after this. I'm guessing Yeah, I'm guessing that they're going to continue this Randy Orton Drew match. You know, even though they had the match at Saturday Night Main Event, they haven't like feuded like for 5 years since, you know, this time the roles has reversed. Drew is the heel, Randy's the babyface now. I don't know. So moving on to the main event. This is for the World Heavyweight Championship. You see the poster on the screen right now. The ring, General Gunther defending the World Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk. Yeah, it's funny that, you know, this year, you know, like Punk main event night 1 of WrestleMania 41. Now he's main event night 1 of SummerSlam. Punk came out wearing, you know, the blue and white attire. It's really inspired by the new Fantastic Four film. Yeah, this match is match of the night. You know, like before that, you know, I consider the opener to be match of the night for now, but this match is actually match of the night. You know, I think the both styles are different. You know, like Gunther is like tactical European style based wrestler. Punk, you know, he had the MMA. He trains. You know, he had the MMA training, the jiu-jitsu training. You know. And it's really good. You know, it got really boring, but, you know, it was tactical. You know, Gunther doing multiple the chops onto Punk. If there was one spot, like, I think it was a seesaw spot. You know, like, you know, he kind of like, Punk was about to fall out of the ring, but instead he pulled him back up, did the chop, did the big boot. You know, I think they trade like submission holds in this match. You know. You know, like, I think both of them traded like sharpshooter holds and figure 4 leg lock holds. You know, Punk did like the triangle choke hold. Like Gunther hit like 2 power bombs onto Punk. You know, he did the dinosaur drop kick onto the corner, then the power bomb, then he did it again for the near fall. I think he did like the splash off the top rope. He kind of like taunting Punk, like, best in the world, huh? This is the best in the world? You think you're the best wrestler in the world? Best in the world, everybody. You know, yeah, you can tell like Gunther is showing a little bit of personality. You know, he doesn't, you know, like, I'm not saying Gunther has personality. He doesn't really like go around. I don't think he's going around like entertaining the fans. You know, like cracking jokes. You know, he's supposed to be this serious heel. I think he's been doing it like recently, like this year. You know, even though he's on his own. Like, because at this moment in time, Ludwig Kaiser is doing this storyline. He's now with Chad Gable, you know, El Grande Americano. You know, that's another story for another time. I don't say it's a bad thing. I think it's entertaining, but anyway, so he kind of like taunting. He kind of like showing off with the world title belts on the table, saying like the best in the world, the ring general Gunther. He was like he's on top of the table. He's top of the announce desk, taunting with the fans. Punk kind of tripped him up, and he kind of landed face first onto the floor or something. Or I think he kind of bled buckets. I think he broke his nose. You can tell there's blood around his face. I'm guessing like he hits his head. He kind of like you know, Punk tripped him up. I think he kind of like went face. I think it was face first on the floor or something. I'm not 100% sure. So. Wow, and I think it's the first time I ever saw Gunther or Volta bleeding buckets, you know. Wow, he did like locking the submission hold onto Punk, but Punk counted into the GTS. He hit like 2 GTS for the win, you know. Like, the first one, yeah, the first one he did, you know, but Gunther's not selling it, he's a bit groggy, you know. I don't know. He might be a little bit concussed, you know, but instead, you know, still standing, and then he hit another GTS to manage to beat him and become the World Heavyweight Champion. I don't know how many times for Punk. Like, you know, being twice to win the world title. I think it was pointless going for a second run. I think he should never did that, you know. I'll get to more of that shortly. So Punk winning the title, I think it was 8 times. Let me think. He's been. I'm talking about his first run at the company. He's been the original World Heavyweight Champion 3 times. The original Big Gold Belt. He's been WWE champion twice. He's been ECW on once. When he was part of the ECW brand. He's been AEW, I think it was twice. I think he's been interim champion, so I think he's 2 or 3 times AEW champion. So I'm guessing, is it 3, 5, 4. I'm guessing 6 or 7. Now he beat Gunther on this show to make it 8. I'm not 100% sure. It's a good moment. Punk went emotional. This is his first title since he was WWE champion about like 12, 13 years ago. He got emotional when he won the AEW World Title against Hangman Page. I think is that All In or Double or Nothing? I can't remember. I think it was Double or Nothing or All In. It's been like 3 years, but Punk really got that win because he walked out of the company. He came back, Survivor Series 2023, and then 2024 it was, he got injured, had a feud with Drew, and now he's managed to win the big one, against Gunther. And then with Gunther, man. Actually, before that, we'll get to the aftermath. So afterwards, out comes Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Seth is wearing a he's walking on crutches. He's got the knee brace. I don't know if he actually injured his knee. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't really pay attention, but he kind of taunted Punk, enjoy it while you can. You thought he's going to give him a warning. He kind of teased the cash in again in Punk's match against Cena at was it Night of Champions or King of the Queen? I think it's King and Queen of the Ring. That was last month. So yeah, you kind of teasing Punk. He's going to cash in. He thought he's leaving, but instead he dropped the crutches. I'm guessing removed the knee brace. He grabbed the briefcase and he cashed it on CM Punk. I think he hit Punk with the briefcase, hit him with a curse stomp, and pin him to become the World Heavyweight Champion. Again, I'm having mixed bag of it. I think we see Rollins he's been World Champion for almost 10 years. He's been WWE Champion 2 times. He's been Universal Champion 2 times, and now he's the World Heavyweight Champion 2 times. So he's a 6-time World Champion in WWE. I think he's been overpushed at this moment in time. But I'm guessing they're just continuing this rivalry between Punk and Rollins going. With Gunther, the world title for this year has been hot potato. Ever since Jay beat Gunther at WrestleMania this year, the title's been hot potato. Jay won the title at WrestleMania, and then Gunther beat Jay on Raw. I think it was a week after Saturday Night Main Event, after he defended the title against Logan Paul, and now Punk beat Gunther on this show, and then suddenly Rollins beat Punk. I don't want to get in more in details of it. I think at this moment in time, I think Gunther needs to move away. I think his time as the world, his time carrying the red brand is over. He's been in the red brand for years since he got called up. He's been Intercontinental Champion for 2 years on the red brand. I think he was on the red brand when he was on Raw. Then he's been in the world title picture for 1 year. Ever since he won his first world title at Summerslam of last year. He held that belt for 9 months. He lost the title to Jey Uso at WrestleMania this year. Now he won it back. Lost the Punk on this show. And I think it's time. I think I can see him going. I can see him going to the SmackDown brand. I think it's a bit of a briefer. They're gonna do this storyline with Rollins. His rivalry between Punk and Roman. I'm guessing, I don't know what's the match going to. Was it Clash of Paris or Clash of France? In the end of the month. I don't know what they're gonna do. Rollins and Punk, Rollins and Reigns. Are they gonna do the triple threat match from the WrestleMania 41 Night 1 main event triple threat match on that same show. I think they could probably do Punk and Rollins at WrestleMania next year. You know, I think they have to do it on a bigger stage than just doing it in an international show. I think they're doing Clash of Paris, and then I think October they're doing Super Showdown. I think they need to do it on a bigger stage than just doing it on an international show in another country. So I don't know, but if they've never done this, it was good to see Rollins cash in. But they're trying to capitalize on his new faction with Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker. What's it called? The Vision called? I don't think it was officially called it yet. But I don't know. I think we've got we've got the second half of 2025 to go, and then we've got 2026 over the horizon. So we don't know. But if they never did the cash in, I think Punk winning the title is a good way to end night one. So yeah, I'm okay. Rollins cashing in, to continue the rivalry with Punk, but I think it's a bit predictable. But at the same time, I think Rollins he's been in the world title picture far too long. He's already been world champion before, 2 years prior. Won the title at Night of Champions, lost the title at WrestleMania 40 Night 2 about last year. I don't know, man. I don't want to get in details there, but I can't wait, But yeah, it was fun. So my final rating of SummerSlam 2025 Night 1, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's a back and forth of giving it like a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. It's right down the middle. I don't think this show is amazing. I think it's it's not great, but I don't say it was bad. I think the two matches really saved it. The opener and the main event. I think they're kind of in that 4-star mark, and the undercard is about into that 3-star mark as well. Can't find something in the bad, but the other thing I put in the okay is Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. But besides that, I really like the opener. I kind of enjoy the women's tag team title match. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill, and the tag team match. Jelly Roll, Randy Orton versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, and the main event. And yeah, I don't mind Rollins cashing the briefcase, to win the title, But besides that, it was kind of like a fine night one for SummerSlam 2025. So, what's your thoughts on SummerSlam 2025 Night 1? Please leave your thoughts on the comment section below, smash that button, click the like, click the bell, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube, be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. And this is the Central Man officially signing out. Check you later.